Hey everybody, I'm in Vegas right now, and we're about to do a show, and I'm pre-coffee, and we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because Alan saw it. Also, he painted his room. It's going to be a big show today. I am barely surviving Vegas. Okay. Let's bring on Alan.
Paint this room or you won't get your money. We're not paying for that.
Now, here comes Alan,
who understands and has an appreciation for fans.
Here's Alan.
Oh, you're hungover.
I'm not hungover. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I'm just a little tired here.
Did you see Chrissy last night? Or?
I saw Chrissy Mayer last night. I'm here with the FNT crew. We're all having a very good time. That's what I want to say. I went to Meow Wolf yesterday, Area 15, which was fantastic. It's a lot of fun. You saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's right.
Volume 3. But before, okay, this is going to be a treat for everyone who shows up early to watch the show. You get a treat. And by the way, I got to thank Gary from Nerdrotic and Mrs. Nerdrotic. They're putting me up here at the Embassy Suites for the show, which is a lot of fun. They have been amazing hosts. And I got to thank them. I wouldn't be in Vegas if not for them. So in the beautiful, beautiful Embassy Suites, which has free breakfast, which I haven't eaten yet. Here's what I got. Here's my spread. Look at that.
Oh,
look at that. I haven't even dug into it. A little banana bread, little coffee. So, but
how's their casino?
There's no casino in here. But I will. Okay, so I want to remind people that they hated your room, Alan's room, the pink room. Everybody hated it. They thought it was terrible. And I offered, do you remember, Alan? I offered to get you a PS5 if you would paint your room. Now, you did paint your room. And I met up with you recently. I was, okay, you painted the room. You get a PS5. Here's what happened when I gave Alan the PS5. You're not going to believe it. I have to just show the video. There's just I have to show this video. Make of it what you will.
I just want to say my co-conspirator, Alan Ng at Film Threat, has done a great job. He earned this PS5. Alan, here you go.
Yeah!
Dude, what are you doing?
It's just an honor for me to finally have a PS5.
Okay, so we should have coordinated the handoff a little better.
Probably.
Okay, but you do.
Right, so when the new one comes in, and this TV is broken, but the warranty company is going to replace it. So I'll have a nice big TV to.
Cool.
We'll have the PS5 in here.
Well, I love it. I love it. I think it's. I'm glad you could throw the PS5 on in the background or have some graphic on there that says Film Threat.
Marvel's Avengers, absolutely.
Marvel's Avengers. Oh no, it was so distracting when you used to do that. Before we get into talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, you saw it last night.
Yes.
Eric Weber was there. Dante
was there.
Dante may be joining us on the show later to discuss. But let's see who's with us here in the chat. Lord Thoth says, hi, everyone. TGIF. Thank God it's Film Threat. Isn't it TGIFT? That's what
TGFT.
TGI, okay. TGIFT. Lord Thoth goes on to say, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and join us as a member. Solomon Thornton, if you're ready for Film Threat, then give me a hell yeah. Thank you, Film Threat. Let's go. My body is ready, says Imperfect. My body is not. My body is you know what's so funny is everyone who comes to Vegas at a certain number of days, you hit the wall.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm out. I gotta take a day of rest. It's a spa, it's a pool day, whatever it is. And I think I did that on the first day. The first night, that is, not the first day, but the first night. I went a little hard. James Richuti says 69 hungover. Hell yeah. Thank you, James. JTPRX 69. Leo Cody. Hulk smash the like, says Leo Cody. Thank you, Leo. Leo does some of our videos and graphics. He did the graphics of you and I in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 thing. 3 graphic. See, look, literally the first sip of coffee I've had is the one I'm taking.
Oh my gosh. This is gonna be a fun stream.
It'll be fun. Give me an hour to wake up. James Retrudy says, hello, everyone. I hope Chris has had his coffee and Alan's dog has posted up in his usual location watching Alan's 6.
Yeah, she's right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Life of Brie, will Chris be post beer or pre-coffee? Where's the line there? I am in this gray area of I don't know what. I'm definitely pre-coffee, but yeah, when did I? Okay, I didn't drive, by the way. You know, we had my friend Eric drove. So hanging out with my buddies AJ and Grady, and it was pretty amusing. It was cool. Let's see, John Maneline, TGIFT, hail the boys in chat. Life of Brie, rainy day, gonna go see a movie later. George Foreman or Chevalier, might flip a coin for it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see George Foreman this weekend.
I might go see Chevalier just because I want to see it. What I hear about Chevalier is I think the trailer looks terrible.
Yep.
I hear that the movie is better than the trailer. All right, you go see George Foreman. I'll see Chevalier. We'll talk about it next week.
By the way, just a reminder, we are on Rumble. We are live on Rumble right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Toxic Waltz N8 says, all right, so what's the buzz on Are You There, God? It's me. It's a me, Mario. Hey, I might go see that movie too. I might do 2 movies in a day. Because I remember Judy Blume when I was a kid. Like, I'm talking about elementary school.
Yeah.
Judy Blume was like a controversial author. Like, because I think in one of her books, she talks about how girls have periods.
Yeah, I believe it's in this movie.
Yeah, like a girl gets her period, and it's like a big part of the book. And I remember all the girls in like 3rd or 4th grade were like, they talk about periods. And I'm like, you mean at the end of a sentence? And there you go. Okay.
You sound like Joe Biden when you do that.
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not going to Biden. No way. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have something special to show. I have something special. Before we're going through our, chat. People are joining. I sent out a tweet. Our newsletter goes out. And then I have something to show you. I cannot wait. Here we go. Swords and Starships for 10 says, AKA Captain Garrett. So awesome meeting you in Vegas. You and the rest of the FNT crew are so awesome. I was disappointed, though. I didn't get to meet my biggest film critic, celebrity hero, Alan Ng.
Yeah. Thank you. I wish I could have been there. I haven't been to Vegas in a very long time.
Next year. Maybe next year. Yeah. Cool.
Except I'm not a drinker. That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah, you drink water.
Yeah.
Soda.
By the way, we have a bunch of guests in the chat, so you might want to.
Guests in the chat?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I'm
okay. Just
that Star Wars girl is here. Hey, that Star Wars. I totally forgot this movie was coming out.
Yeah, I believe she's referring to Judy Blume's movie.
Oh, that's great. Oh, Judy Blume. Oh, that's great. Judy Blume. Did she do no, it was Beverly Cleary did the books that were Henry Huggins. Those were the books that I read. The whole Henry Huggins series. Then I read Danny Dunn and Tom Swift. No one reads these authors anymore. They're very
Yeah.
just sort of innocuous children's authors.
Well, there's a documentary, I believe, on Max about Judy Blume that just came out like last week.
There's one on Amazon too, I believe. So there you go. Thanks, that Star Wars girl. John Manilang saw Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret last night. What a wonderful surprise that movie was. Really liked it. Great cast, chemistry, and story. Not preachy, woke at all, in my opinion. Although I did hear there was some controversy where she said something wrong and apologized. And I always hate that. I see authors do that. It's like,
yeah, she basically supported J.K. Rowling and then apologized for it.
Wait, it's X-Ray Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. My body is jello, says X-Ray Girl. Yeah, it was crazy last night. We ended up at a bar and I forgot the name of the bar. It was like Nerd Bar or something. It was the name of the bar, Nerd Bar. So there you go. Let's see. Wait, Film Threat posted thoughts on fitness with Nigel. Member for 4 months. Threat level 1 says, Chris, why are you doing a creepy Biden take? That was not by design. That was an accident, and my apology. I'm apologizing for that.
I know he's ruined whispering into mics.
Yes, it used to be a thing. Let's see. Critique Corner for $4.99. Hey Chris, we did a review of Attack of the Duck. We loved it. Made us nostalgic for the old G4. Oh, thanks, Critique Corner. That's awesome. Do me a favor. Tag me or Attack of the Duck on social media. Tag at Attack of the Duck. I'll retweet it or repost it, and we'll share it. We'll share the video. Thank you for that. We're getting good reviews. I was telling people, I have a favor to ask everybody. Everyone right now, quick favor. Go to RottenTomatoes.com. Look up Attack of the Duck. If you have seen the movie, give it a review under the audience review. I found out, I didn't know this. So you need 5 reviews of critics' reviews to get a critical score. But you need 50 reviews. 50. You need 50 reviews. If anyone knows what that's a reference to, let me know. I'm doing my best, Beardo. If you get 50 audience reviews, then you get an audience score. So just remember, 50 audience reviews. Go to RottenTomatoes.com. So I can't believe X-Ray Girl, my body is jello. All right, really quickly going through these chats. Comments, then I have a very special treat and announcement. And then Alan and I think Dante are going to talk about. I
don't know if you know this, but the review embargo lifts at 10 o'clock.
10 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might cheat
it by a few minutes.
Yeah, or I can talk about a different movie, Ghosted. I can talk about Ghosted.
Yeah. Because
I do want to talk about that. But thank you for
we go full review at 10.
Oh, so the full review goes up on Film Threat at 10 a.m.
The full review goes up this afternoon. I wanted to be the last review of the day, but we can talk about it.
Okay, cool.
As a full review today.
Right, let's do that. Mark Perkins for 5 says, get a Pedialyte, bro. Dude, I have water. I have like 2 things of water and 2 things of coffee. I have this stuff. I got this recently. It's called Be Immune, and it's specifically for when you have problems with your throat. It's a throat. I'm going to do some right now. That tastes like garbage. Cough syrup in the back of my throat. Mark the Cyborg says, I love her Jello. Well, that's fair. I mean, you should. Aren't you married to her? No one knows what I'm talking about. It's private. Aaron Taylor, can't believe I'm late. Nice hair, Chris Gore. I just woke up like this. It's it sort of does its own thing, you know. And Raylo Normie says, hey guys, Chris, I am so happy for you, man. Attack of the Doc was so enjoyable. Brought back my high school years. That's cool. I am now the Attack of the Doc is kind of out and whatever, and I'm working. I have another documentary that I'm going to be submitting to film festivals in the fall, but there's a movie I want to shoot before the end of the year, and I think I've decided on the next film I'm going to make. So, but I'm not going to say anything about it until after I'm done shooting it. So, but I'll be shooting that before the end of the year. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Raylo Normie. Imperfect. Helen is going to play Elden Ring so he can watch him rage quit. Well, now that you have a broken PS5, that's awesome. Let's see. And the nerd far away says Beverly Cleary. Yes, I read Ramona Quimby books. I love those. Yes, Beverly Cleary. So I grew up reading those, and I grew up Henry Huggins. It was the first one I read, and I liked Henry Huggins because he had a newspaper route, and he had a dog named Ribsy. And the dog was called Ribsy because the dog was so insanely skinny because he found Ribsy, this dog, and it was just emaciated. And the cover of the first book, he's carrying Ribsy home in a box. Then he delivers newspaper. It's very sort of idyllic 50s. I assume the books are written in the 50s. So, and then I read Ramona the Pest, which was about Beezus' little sister, Ramona, and she was annoying, which reminded me of my sister. I thought my sister was annoying when I was a kid because she was like 3 years younger than me. She always wanted to hang out. We wanted to do boy stuff. She wanted to hang with us, and yeah.
Wasn't there a movie? Like I think Selena Gomez was in it.
Oh, there was a movie. I'm sure it's terrible.
So, yeah.
I'm sure it's terrible, but I love the illustrations and whatnot. Okay, I'm stalling because I want to get to the.
Yeah, I can read some Rumble chats here. Esberg 987. Gore needs more coffee.
For sure.
Yeah, Salt Dog 0. Though Gore only looks half alive, because BMO better said Gore looks wrecked.
Oh my God.
Let's see. MK Rallis watching on Rumble. Chris coming in 5x5. Hail Film Threat. Folsom Lockdown. Watched Attack of the Dock on Prime. Hoping there's some extras when the Blu-ray comes out.
Tons. There are Easter eggs not just on the Blu-ray that we're putting out, which will be like I'm saying August now. We'll probably have them in July and then ship it in August. But yeah, the extras are insane. There are Easter eggs that are in the movie that no one has found yet. There are literal Easter eggs in the movie. I may reveal what some of those are. I talked about one of the Easter eggs in an interview that I did. So if you're watching some of the stuff, I think Projection Booth, I did an interview. It was really fun because I've known Mike White for decades. Mike White, who does the Projection Booth podcast, great podcast. Tony Reyes for $9.99 saw your recent rant about Disney not putting the Star Wars Legacy cast together for one last adventure, and it also breaks my heart. Hey, maybe we'll get CGI version of the OG characters. Haha. It's too late, man. They had an opportunity. They were alive. Excuse me.
Yeah. I don't think you could use the word recent as regarding this subject.
It's just what a missed opportunity. If anything, Kathleen Kennedy should be fired for that. She went to make Star Wars sequels and made garbage movies that we will not. Don't get me started, folks. Don't get me started. Mark the Cyborg says neither Gary or Jeremy drink either, Alan.
Oh, okay.
You'll be in good company.
Yeah. All right.
So there you go.
They do it once a year, or?
Well, Gary, he's talked about, he, cleaned up, he's sober. I don't believe Jeremy has ever had a drink.
Yeah.
He's like a person who's never had alcohol. I respect that. It's, you make your own choices. Look, I like to drink. I am responsible about my drinking. You know what I mean? I didn't drive last night. I also didn't go too far or I wouldn't be awake. I kind of know like I'm cut off. Like I cut myself off. I don't need anyone else to tell me to cut off. I cut myself. The problem is people kept buying me drinks.
I know. I think Friday was the first time. I think that's the worst I've seen you blasted.
Oh my God. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Back to this. Green-haired anti-liberal. I'm late. Great to meet you last night at Chrissy's show. Oh yeah. Hey, green-haired anti-liberal. Yes, it was great. Green-haired anti-liberal got called out during Chrissy's show. I think because of the green hair, which was cool. Love that. Chrissy's show was great because she did a chunk of the show was all crowd work. It was awesome.
Yeah.
She got up and when she was just like making, oh God, it was great. It's so good. Aaron Taylor, is Attack of the Doc on Apple Store in Canada? It is not. We are only available in the United States. But if you use a VPN, you can reread. You can say you're in the US and see it. But I don't believe it's in the Apple Store yet. It's Amazon YouTube Movies. It's on YouTube Movies and Vimeo. But you will need a VPN because it's only the US territory. And then the movie, actually, this is funny. Attack of the Doc is actually going to be at the Cannes Film Market. Now, by the way, don't be so impressed. Anything can go to the Cannes Film Market. Trauma is at the Cannes Film Market. So my film is going to the film market so it can be purchased by other countries. So there you go. So Aaron, that would be my advice. Get a VPN and then say you're in the US and then watch the movie. Jagar, Alan, referring to your thoughts on Nefarious. Did you go to Fuller? I'm currently in seminary.
No, I went to Talbot, which is, if any of you know it, kind of rivals. But I did take a class or two at Fuller while I was in seminary.
So there you go. More super chats here. Call sign Alucard for $4.99. Chris, have your son show you how to give yourself an IV after a hard night. It beats anything else for recovery. Yeah.
Does your son know how to do that?
I don't know. I'll ask him. Yeah.
Is that what they teach you in the military?
I don't know if they teach that exactly. Okay, Steve Marsden for $19.99. I'd like to submit an exhibit into evidence for the prosecution of Disney Star Wars. In season 3 finale of Mandalorian, when Baby Yoda uses the Force to protect the 3 of them from the starship crashing into the base. This is one of 2. Where's the second one?
Let's see if.
Sorry about that, Steve.
Okay.
Well, on that note,
get to a 2 up, and we'll throw it up there.
Yeah. But okay. On that note, I have something to share.
Oh, hold on. One last Rumble chat. BMO better. It sounds like a lot of people had fun. I don't do big meetups, but maybe one day I can show up to the smaller one. So yeah.
Well, we've got over 500 people watching us live on YouTube. I don't know how many on Rumble.
28.
28. Let's get that number up, Rumble. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. But for the 500 people watching, if you are not a subscriber to the channel, we are trying to get to 169,000 subscribers. It's our next goal. So like, share, subscribe, and we appreciate that.
Oh, wow.
And I have something special to share next week. Our normal show, Hollywood on the Rocks, it will be preempted for a different show. I want you all to tune in. It's going to be something like you've never seen on YouTube before. And here's just a taste. That's right. Tune in May the 3rd. Critics Court, Star Wars on Trial begins. There are 9 charges against Lucasfilm for the murder of the Star Wars franchise. On our first show, we will be introducing all of the charges, and then we will begin with a prosecution and defense of each charge. I don't know how long it's going to take us. I'm guessing at least a month or weeks. We're going to go through every single charge. And then at the very end of the trial, you, the viewers, will decide on each charge, whether Lucasfilm is guilty. So I think just because we're doing this on YouTube, they're probably going to be guilty. Let's hear the arguments. Look, I'm just saying, let's hear the arguments. I definitely want to hear those. So, Alan, are you excited for the trial?
I am. It'll be different, and I'm curious who we get for the defense.
I've already had people reach out to me. I've already had people reach out, and they want to prepare. Like the people that are like doing this are like super serious. We're basically orchestrating debates, and I'll be asking questions. That's all I'm doing is I'm asking questions. That's it. Let's finish up our comments here, and then I'm going to review Ghosted, and then we're going to switch right over to talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. More comments here. Jaeger says,
"Oh, we got that one."
Oh, yeah, okay. Sean Cosgrove, in college, I was a very casual gamer, and Attack of the Show was my favorite thing to watch in college. Such a bummer what it turned into. We'll definitely rent the movie tonight. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, part 2 of 2, Steve Marsden's part 2 of 2 showed up, so you can do this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dom T says, setting the G&G crew up with tickets to Super Nintendo World was very kind of you. It was fun watching Jay's live stream. Looked amazing. It looked absolutely amazing. No, it was cool. Like, no, all I did was like refer them to someone who's offered tickets in the past. I don't know if I should say that person's name. I'm always like, should I say the person's, they want to be known, but very kind. And I'm just, look, if I can help someone out, I always try to help somebody out. But I met Jay for the first time. He's a big boy. He's like 6'6".
Oh, wow.
He is, but he's not just like tall. He's like he's like a linebacker. I mean, I was shocked because he looks like just this sort of sweet, nice dude. And he is that, but he is like, if you ran into a wall, I think that running into Jay is worse than running into a wall. He's big dude. Latino Slant 8-Bally. Yes, 2 waters and 2 coffees are a pair of water mixed for every coffee. You need at least 6 cups of water to hydrate, bro. Look, this is the way you're going to get me. It's the way you're going to get my voice. Harry Anders is for 200 of something. It says, Chris, you look like Vegas really happened to you. Enjoyed you guys reviewing Sisu and Wendy the other day. Have fun in Vegas, Chris. Alan, hold down the fort. Almost farts. Love everything you all do. Hail from Scandinavia.
Oh,
so
hey.
those are Scandinavian, 200 Scandinavian. Thank you, Harry. We appreciate it. Let's see more super chats here. Oh, here's the second part of Stephen Marsden for 1999. This scene is similar to the scene in Guardians of the Galaxy where Groot sacrifices himself with his cocoon. Listen to the music of both scenes. It's the same music. Hail, Alan and Chris. Loved Attack of the Doc. Oh, that's sweet. And then we have Nicholas Vargo for $4.99. Loved your review of Sisu. You need to see his other movies, the excellent Rare Exports and the less good but still enjoyable Big Game beforehand. I'll do that. We got Dante waiting in the wings. Just a sec, Dante. We're going to go through these chats real quick. Kevin Apple, who composed the music? A guy for Attack of the Doc was a guy named Austin Smith, and he did an amazing score, and it is right now on Spotify. Just go to Spotify, look up Attack of the Doc, and there's not only the original score, but there is the songs that Zach Selwyn did, and there are additional songs that didn't make the cut of the movie. You get 2 extra songs. So there you go. The only jury I want to be selected for, says Heinlein. And then John Manalang says, oh no, he said that.
Yeah, we got that one.
Yep, got that one. We got that one. watched Attack of the Doc last night. Great documentary on Attack of the Show and G4 in general. The post-credit scene was fantastic. Love the reference to you wouldn't steal anti-piracy PSAs, says bass player 2011-5. Okay, you're the first person to notice that. I was referencing, there's a little surprise scene, post-credit scene, and I was referencing a very famous internet commercial. So there you go. Thank you. Somebody noticed. Chris is going to start pre-drinking for FNT in an hour. I literally have to end this stream and go directly to the studio where FNT is. So there you go. And Womp Biscuits says, why is Alan's TV backward?
Yeah, it's broken. The warrant. I had to submit the serial number to the warranty company, and they're sending me a new TV. So hopefully this weekend I'll have that new TV.
Do you have to send the old one back?
No, and I have no idea what to do with the old one.
Oh, can you film? Let's do this. Let's put the logo for Star Wars Critics Court on it. I want to get a sledgehammer and film us smashing your TV.
Okay.
With the Star Wars logo on it. What do you think?
Yeah, let me make sure.
It doesn't even turn on. It doesn't even turn on, so we can't do that.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Well, then forget it.
Yeah, unless there's some magic we can do.
Saw Attack of the Doc. I have never experienced such a dose of nostalgia. G4's rise and fall tracks with my time in the army, and some of my few moments of sanity in Iraq were watching AOTS in an MWR tent. Cheers, says MM for 20. Thank you for that. What was really cool, we didn't cover this in the doc, but the show had a very good relationship with the US military. And they would do satellite remotes of guys in Iraq playing games, and then we would do there would be a remote. Kevin did that. It was great. I mean, we tried to look, it was, how do you put 20 years of what's happened in 20 years? G4 being on for 11 years. It was rough, but yeah, that's great. They had a great relationship with the US military. So that's awesome to hear. Thank you, MM. And my apologies for my voice, everyone. Now it's time to pivot. It's time to pivot because we have something to talk. We have a new movie that we have to talk about here. It's Hey, Dante James is here. Dante, how's it going?
How's it going, boys?
It's going well. You and Alan yesterday saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yep.
I think it's safe to talk about it, Alan.
Yeah. With 20 minutes, I don't think Disney's
I don't think they're gonna care.
For this.
Not gonna change it with you. All right, you guys, I have not seen the movie. I have heard good to mixed. Can you and this is, we're gonna keep this we're gonna keep it fairly non-spoiler.
Yeah.
So fairly non-spoiler.
We could talk about the first act. I think that's safe to do.
First act, I want to hear a little bit of the story, but we're not going to do major spoilers. We will, a week from today, we will be doing spoiler-filled review a week from today because I'll have seen it and other people will have had the opportunity to see it. This is Marvel's new effort. So I think the big questions are, what the hell is this movie even about?
Yeah.
Does James Gunn stick the landing? And the other thing is where does this sort of put things with regard to the future of Marvel? Because I think everyone's expecting to really enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but after that, what do they got? And does this close the book on Guardians? Does it introduce a new team, or is it just done? I'm going to let you guys talk. Alan, yeah. So I'm just
let me give a story.
I'm setting you guys up so I can eat a donut off camera.
Yeah,
tell us briefly the story, kind of what the setup is.
Yeah, so basically, if you watch the holiday special, the Guardians' new headquarters is on nowhere, and the film opens with the Guardians just kind of feeling a little despondent in life. Rocket has some PTSD issues he's working through, and Peter Quill is drunk out of his mind after losing Gamora. So basically, out of nowhere, while they're on nowhere, Adam Warlock flies in and basically tries to kidnap Rocket for the High Evolutionary. In the process, they're able to defeat Adam Warlock, but Rocket is critically injured. And the High Evolutionary who created Rocket, who evolved him, put this security measure on his heart so that no one can do any medical procedures on him. And so the Guardians now have to go to the vault, the data vault of the High Evolutionary, get that passcode and save Rocket's life. And that's basically the plot of the movie. It's the way I see it is, in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, they're all basically put together, but they're all for themselves. And this is the movie that kind of brings it all full circle, where the entire team goes into action to save Rocket's life. So that's essentially the plot there. But I'll say this: the movie is good, but there are a lot of flaws to it. I will say that the story is very dense with sub stories. This should be just a rescue mission to get the information they need about Rocket and make him better. But there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's human trafficking. There's genetic mutation. There's Adam Warlock, his history, his origins. There's the High Evolutionary and what he's trying to do. There's, and this is all crammed into a 2.5 hour movie.
Well, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
2 hours 15. The final act, the big battle, is relentless in action. It gets, there's so much packed into this movie, and you're gonna get whiplash. And I will say that the reason to watch this movie is the Guardians themselves. This is everything is, they're surrounded by a very flawed story, but it's the Guardians. The fact that we've been with them from the very beginning, and they've evolved into this team. And I think what James Gunn does so well is he brings out their personalities, where they've come all this way personally, and then brings them together as that team. And that's the heart of this movie, because you're here to see the Guardians of the Galaxy in action, and they are in action. Everyone has their moments to shine. And this is basically a great send-off for James Gunn to go on and do better things. And I have a sneaky suspicion that maybe Disney tinkered with the editing a little bit to make it a less good movie. But that's my conspiracy theory behind it. Yeah, Dante, what do you think?
I personally love the movie. I liked it a lot. I think that for me, James Gunn is 3-0. I love the first Guardians. I liked the second Guardians, and I really, really liked this last iteration of the story. I agree. There were some points in the film where the story gets a little convoluted, but when you're doing a story involving the High Evolutionary, it's going to be convoluted. There's going to be a lot in there. He's not a simple villain. And I think it was a great send-off for Gunn. I think that, look, we all know Marvel's been in a tank for the past 2 years, at least 2 or 3 years. And so to have this movie come out, especially right after how terrible Ant-Man was, I don't know if I'm jaded. Like, I don't know if it was better because it was so much better than Ant-Man, or if it was because it was an actually good movie. And but honestly, I think even if you're just a minute fan of the Guardians, you're going to like this movie. I think everybody sells it, man. I think Chris Pratt was phenomenal in this film. It was a great send-off for Star-Lord. I would definitely say that. And take that however you want. It was a great send-off for Star-Lord. I'm not spoiling anything by saying that. I think that, like Alan said, everybody got a moment to shine in this film. Everybody. And Rocket was really the heart of the whole film. And you see how much of a loss that character would be if he weren't there to this team. Like you feel it, you know. And I just honestly, there's going to be mixed reactions, of course. You know, some people are going to not like it just because it's the MCU, but I think for me, James Gunn nailed it. I think there don't get me wrong, there was some misses in the film. There was definitely some misses, but overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the criticisms of the movie will revolve around things that didn't involve the Guardians.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
What? Like what?
Yeah. You know, like I'm already seeing it. Like the Adam Warlock character, there's what you see is what you get, but they do explain it in a way. I don't know if you're going to buy the explanation or be happy with the explanation, but there's
let's just say it's not the Adam Warlock from the comic.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that
but
way.
it's intentional. There's an intentionality behind it.
Yeah.
Well, look, I've heard you guys. It sounds. I don't know. I don't like it. Based on what I've heard, Rocket is sad from PTSD.
Yeah,
he's as a medical thing, but he can't be operated on because of what the High Evolutionary did. All this sounds like plot convenience stuff. It doesn't, like, based on your description, it sounds bad to me. I know you enjoyed it like in the moment, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just saying, like,
it makes a lot more sense though.
I know it's like trying to describe the plot is
yeah. It makes a lot more sense when you understand what the High Evolutionary purpose is, right, and what he's done to other people or other beings. That makes sense. It'll make sense within the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, this movie is okay. So they're done. Guardians of the Galaxy done.
Yeah.
So after this,
but this is the tribute to the team. That's what I'm saying is what I enjoyed about the movie was the team. But I do feel like I walked away from the overall story feeling like this was not this was a flawed story. This is definitely the worst of the three, but probably the third best. So that's that's kind of the feeling I got walking away.
I would put it actually above the second movie for me.
Would you? No, I think I would definitely put the second one above this one.
The second one had its moments. I mean, some really great moments.
Well, this movie does have great moments, man, and there's some really fun cameos in this film. So it's not all like dread and dreary. I mean, there's some fun parts of it for sure. I mean, it's a Guardians film. There's going to be fun moments, but it is a heavier tone than the other films.
Yeah, but I mean, again, the heart of it is the fact that the entire motivation of the entire team, sans Gamora, is they want to save Rocket's life. And that's the motivation of everything they do in this movie. And that's very different from the very first movie when it was all about selfish motives. And so again, this is the third volume. It's bringing the team full circle and just really nailing home the fact that this is a family.
So what you're saying is the first Guardians movie is still the best of the three.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the second one was meh, and this one seems like it's just okay.
I like the second one. I love the second
one. Especially the fact that they brought back the original Guardians in the second movie. For me, was Starhawk and all those guys. So I was an old school Guardians reader back in the 80s. So I know that whole team. And so I really like the second movie. And I like the fact that in this movie, we get more of the old team as well. So I mean, there's a lot of cool like guest spots in this film. But I think, maybe it wasn't the best Guardians film, but it was a solid movie. Like I walked away feeling like I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'll tell you how you'll feel. The third act is probably half the movie, and you're gonna feel exhausted after going through it. It's just dense, and there's at least 5 or 6 endings.
I agree with that.
And I think if there's the fault, if people are going to complain about this movie, it's going to be about that third act just being too much.
Well, okay. So are there post-credit scenes, mid-credit? Yes. Okay. How many? Like what?
There's 3, and I will say this: it's all contained within the Guardians world, so there's no reference outside of.
Yeah, there's no Kang references or.
No
Yeah, there's
Kang.
no reference to the MCU outside of this movie.
Right.
Okay. So there
It's
you
very
go.
self-contained.
All right.
So
Oh,
yeah,
so-
there's no Captain Marvel doesn't show up in the movie.
Yes. Well, that's a good thing. So I see I can't the questions I want to ask, like who dies, would be a spoiler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see your best.
I know. And
Who dies?
We just can't. We can't even.
Can't
We
say.
can't even talk about that third act.
Oh, so the third act, it's dramatic. This is
Third act is action. It's wall to wall action, and it's exhausting.
but it's too much. Is it one of those things where you look at this and like, geez, you could have edited this would be better as an under 2-hour movie?
I mean,
Either
I felt
that-
like the time was fair. 2 hours and 15 minutes. It was, to wrap up a series, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I'll say this: it's not that it needed to be edited down. It needed to remove a subplot or two.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's a human trafficking element that was like, okay, this is just gonna extend the movie out. I mean, it's good, but it's gonna extend this movie for longer.
All right, now watching this same person, James Gunn, is writing and directing Superman. Did you see any sort of tastes of that in this?
No,
what are
this
your
was a pure
thoughts?
Guardian film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's already said at CinemaCon that Superman is not a comedy. His Superman is not a comedy, and so it's gonna definitely be. We're gonna see him finally flex his dramatic chops. And I will say this: comedians tend to do better with drama than the other way around. So I'm hopeful. This is let's be clear. This is a good movie. If you love the Guardians, you're gonna love this movie. And to send us off, it's just like Picard season 3. This is the last good Marvel you're gonna see for a very long time.
Yes, absolutely.
Because what's the lineup? After this, it's the Marvels.
The
That's
Marvels.
it.
Well, you got
And
Secret Invasion, but I don't know if you count that as.
There's a couple things I've heard that Secret Invasion is terrible. That it's just that the scripts were really good, but it was too tinkered with. It was too noted, let's say. It just got too many notes. So I hear what I'm hearing is Secret Invasion is awful, and the Marvels will surprise people because it's actually entertaining. Because my understanding is, and you see tastes of this in the trailer, that Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, she really has a stick up her ass. She's a pain in the ass. And that dynamic works really well with Kamala Khan. So that's
Right, and
yeah.
I think if the Marvels is going to be good in any kind of way, it's probably going to be because of Kamala Khan. It's not going to be because of Brie Larson.
They basically play up the fact that she's unlikable and got to stick up her ass. And Kamala Khan is like this ball of joy and enthusiasm.
The perfect balance, basically.
Yeah, and it's a perfect balance of that. So I'm told that actually the Marvels is fun. It's just fun and it'll surprise people. That's what
but I don't think it'll be better than Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. So, gentlemen, anything else you can talk about non-spoiler wise about this?
I think as far as character development goes in this film, I really liked where the characters ended in their arcs. I will say that. I'll
Wait a
say
second,
that. I
the
think
characters ended.
I mean,
ended?
I
For
mean,
the character arcs, the way their character arcs.
I feel like you see major growth, in these characters, not just as a team, but as who they are as characters in the MCU.
Okay.
By the way, the trailer, it's all scenes taken out of context, so there's not a lot of spoilers in that one.
Oh, really? So the trailers themselves, there's nothing.
Yeah, like there's a moment where Nebula is carrying Peter Quill, and that happens in the first 10 minutes.
Because he's drunk.
Like a lifeless Peter Quill. Yeah, because he's drunk. He's drunk out of his mind.
Well, I'm curious about the Peter Quill, Gamora. Do they, does their romance take flight?
That would be
That's a spoiler.
Clearly there are attempts, and anything beyond that is a spoiler.
Yeah.
So he's sort of trying to reconnect with her, but it's a different her. It's not her from, you know,
It's the her from Endgame, from the end of Endgame.
yeah, exactly. She's not exactly into him.
Mm-hmm.
I
again,
think
it'll spoil to say anything about that relationship.
okay, but it seems like they're setting up like that Peter's going to be involved with Nebula.
Yeah, that would be a spoiler as well.
God, you guys.
I know. Wait, look,
I mean,
enjoy the film. Why
Yeah,
should we spoil it for you? Go see the movie. You'll see.
We're looking out for the audience, man. We can't just be dropping spoilers, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, a lot while watching this movie, like going in, I'm like, oh God, what if I like it? And then I'm liking it and going, well, what are the points in which people are just gonna kind of latch in and attack? And I think the latching in and attack will be that final act. You know, I mean, what did you think of the High Evolutionary? I mean, I thought he did a good job considering it's a fairly minor character, and you know,
I think for that kind of character, man, it was fine because look, even the most hardcore Marvel fan knows very little about the High Evolutionary.
Yeah,
it's not like it's not Doctor Doom. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I thought the actor, I wish I could remember his name. He was in Peacemaker. I thought he did a great job as that character.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and James Gunn's wife is in the movie too.
Oh my God, what does she do? A brief part or actually?
She has a good number of lines, but she's not in the entire movie.
Wait, which character was she?
She was the security observer, the one giving and telling people.
Oh, you're right. That was her. I didn't place her. Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to ask you, gentlemen, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you rank this? You're saying you're saying, Dante, that you like this movie better than part 2.
Yeah, I mean, but not by a lot, because I did like part 2 a lot. So I mean, I would say, but it's just a little bit above part 2 for me.
Yeah.
I give it like a 7. It's a solid 7.
I gave it a 7.5. You know, if it weren't for that, just the denseness of the story, it would have gotten higher score.
Here's, I think, the bigger problem. A Marvel movie can't be a 7. Not now. Yeah. Like,
now, a 7 is good for the MCU.
Yeah, that's true. Right now, a 7 is good for the MCU. I will say this though, you can't just do that. I feel like at this point, like there is, you know, people criticize the term Marvel fatigue, but I believe there is Marvel fatigue, not necessarily superhero or good movie fatigue, but there's fatigue about Marvel in general because there are cliches and things people notice in all the Marvel movies, or things where it's like, well, they'd never do this in a Marvel film. I don't even know if people are aware. Do you know in Disney movies, you can't have characters smoke?
Yeah.
There's no smoking.
It's been that way for a long time.
It's been that way for a long time. But
although in this movie, they do drop an F-bomb. So.
Oh, and it's good.
Yeah, it really is.
It's good.
Okay, a certain context or it's well used.
It's there.
It's a very appropriate.
The rumor is it's Chris Pratt, and it is, and where it appears is great.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, it'll when it because it comes out of nowhere and.
Well, I mean, here you go. Marvel breaking barriers, saying, you know. They're basically F you. Is it as good as that? I don't know. Like,
yeah, look, it would be a spoiler. But,
I just think the barriers that are being broken for Marvel, because you had Eternals had like the first gay couple, the first gay kiss, the first sex scene in bed. Oh my God, Eternals was so bad. But
you didn't like the sex scene?
I didn't like anything about Eternals. I barely even remember. I saw that movie once, and it was just my memory is just awful.
I think I purposely blocked out most of that movie.
And I don't think those characters are ever coming back. I think it was a one and done. I don't think they're coming back. I think it's it. That's I don't think they'll be back at all.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, some people are asking, you know, this is the last Guardians movie. This is the last James Gunn Marvel movie. So yes, there are cameos. Uncle Lloyd is in the movie. Howard the Duck is in the movie.
Uncle Lloyd, referring to Lloyd Kaufman of Troma Entertainment. Lloyd told me that he was in Guardians 3 like years ago.
Yeah.
I interviewed him for the podcast when we did audio only. This is how long ago, before we were doing YouTube stuff. aggressively. And he told me, yeah, oh yeah, I'm in Guardians 3. He's in all the Guardians movies.
Yeah.
I mean, as a cameo, because James like really is grateful for him kind of helping begin his career. So
yeah,
let's
and Nathan Fillion is in the movie too.
Yeah, he
So-
plays a pretty funny part, actually.
Cool. So Dante, you rank Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 a 7.
I give it a 7.
Alan, you're saying 7.5.
Yeah.
Your review goes up on Film Threat
At 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock this afternoon, 1 p.m. Pacific time. So check that out. And do you get into spoilers in your review?
No, I basically said about it what I said here. You know, like I said,
But no.
Oh.
There's tons of stuff in the review that you didn't talk about on this channel.
No, in
So
terms of plot.
You have to go to filmthreat.com.
Oh, that's right. No,
to
there's
read
more.
Alan's review. Alan, I can't be the only guy selling it. You gotta
Yes,
help
there are
sell
Easter
it,
eggs,
man.
and there's Easter eggs in the review.
There are Easter eggs.
I am going to say this though, just and I'm kind of repeating a little bit, but I think most people are going to have the biggest problem with Adam Warlock. That's my prediction. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, fans of Marvel are going to have problems with how they portrayed Adam Warlock.
Yeah, but let's be real. I maybe have two issues with Adam Warlock in it. Maybe it's me, but he's never left an impression on me in my years of reading comics.
Right, but you have like Marvel purists who are going to be pissed
Sure.
about how they portray him. Honestly, I kind of I thought he was pretty funny. Actually, his moments. He has some funny moments. But Adam Warlock's not a funny character, so people are going to have an issue with how he's portrayed.
Yeah. By the way, let me end on this one. The world building in this one is so much better than Ant-Man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. James Gunn knows how to build a world, and I would say most of the movie is on practical sets, as opposed to in the volume.
Oh, really? And
There are moments where they're in the volume, but for the most part, they're on practical sets, especially the spaceships and the buildings on the planet.
Oh, that's good to hear. All right, all right, gentlemen, thank you for your comments and your review, non-spoiler review. We will have a week from today a spoiler-filled review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because by then you'll have seen it. Let's go to people's comments here. All right, Ministry of Wrong Think for $9.99. I think it actually might inadvertently stab the MCU in the back if Guardians 3 is good and ends with a sunsetting of these characters. People might see it as a closure for the MCU itself and leave. That is a smart comment here, because really, okay, you're not telling me whether certain characters die. I actually think that certain characters are going to meet an end. That is my theory. I'm waiting to see how you react. Like if you smile.
No,
Some
I will
characters-
agree with this. I will agree that
characters die.
this is probably a good jumping off point for the MCU.
Yeah. There's
Really?
definitely closure. Let's just say there's definitely closure.
There's closure, yeah.
So, because people have been saying, and when I say people, I mean the advertising has said this is the best MCU film since Endgame. True?
No, I mean, well,
it might be.
No. Think of all the movies that have come out since Endgame. They're all
Yeah.
bad.
I say it's the best. It's No Way Home.
Yeah.
Okay, well, No Way Home. I mean, but No Way Home is not. I mean, it's Sony. It's Marvel. I mean, technically, I guess sort of part of the MCU, but separate. I mean, No Way Home is just. Is it better than No Way Home?
No.
Not even close.
No, not
I mean,
even
no.
close.
For me, it's close because I really liked it, but
It's not that close. Yeah,
but No Way Home is kind of the standard at this point.
I'll say this: I will watch No Way Home again before I see Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Really?
I wouldn't say that. I'd watch Guardians again for sure.
Well,
I'll
Dante,
definitely watch it again, but
Dante, we have tickets next Thursday. Are you gonna come out with us or no?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, good. Let me get to other comments here. Thank you, Ministry of Wrong Think. Aaron Taylor, how many endings do we get?
5 or 6.
Are you kidding? Is it like
No,
is it
there's
Return
a
of the
lot.
King?
Oh my gosh! It was like, oh, this story's going on. it's not like Return of the King, but there's a lot of that.
Because they're trying to wrap up everybody's story. So it's, yeah.
But it felt like they were adding story to wrap up stories.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Solomon Thornton says, after I see Guardians 3, this will be my final MCU film for me. Yeah. The Nerd Far Away. Generally speaking, when it comes to closing the book, I wish more films would do that instead of milking it ad nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
Fair point. Tiara.
Wait, here's a question though. Like, if James Gunn didn't get the DC gig, would he be doing a Guardians 4?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he might have the integrity to end it at 3.
Yeah. Tiara Starbrighter says, with the original Gamora dead, the heart of the movies, I think, died with it. We all loved her and Quill getting together. Then it was ripped away.
Yeah. See, that's called good storytelling. In romance, no one ever gets their love until the very end. And, this just kind of continues that idea of chasing the dream, chasing the girl.
Which they kind of go into in the film as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you need to have seen the Guardians holiday special? Is it coherent without, says Portland 182?
I'll say this. It only explains why they're on Nowhere. And it also, I think the holiday special focused on Drax and Mantis's relationship. And this just kind of becomes the result of that.
And thank you, Portland 182 does a bunch of graphics for us.
Yeah.
So there you go. Chicken Little Syndrome says the villains don't look compelling. Adam Warlock and the high guy look kind of lame. The high evolutionary makeup looks bad.
No, the thing is, the Guardians get their ass kicked. I mean, it's not. They're a lot better villains than what you're gonna think.
Yeah, I'll just say this: it's a little bit better than what you think.
Yeah.
Here's a really important question here that I want to know the answer to. Jericho Leon says, curious how closely Adam Warlock sports Chris Gore's hair.
Well, it's clearly the model.
Was it?
Adam Warlock hair? Yeah, I think they basically watched a live stream and then modeled his hair after you.
Either that or James Gunn.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Possible.
CD Stein 69 says, we'll have to say what I've seen of the High Evolutionary, I'm not impressed with the way he's portrayed from the character in the comics. There you go. Gabriel Quiroga for 5. Guardians of the Galaxy feels like the last remnants of better days of the MCU. I don't think it will save Marvel at this point. I'm honestly more excited for The Flash. So
I don't know.
The new Flash trailer is basically, it's Batman.
I know.
It's Michael Keaton Batman, and I am dying to see that. I really want to see it.
I guarantee you 90% of people who want to watch that movie is because of Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's why I want to see it.
Yeah.
It's got the same appeal as it's the same appeal as Spider-Man No Way Home, leaning into nostalgia. So there you go. More comments here. Harry is back with, these are Swedish
Kronas.
Huh?
Swedish Kronas.
Swedish Coronas 200. Harry, thank you for that. Thanks to Dante and Alan. I am definitely going to watch Guardians when it makes it over here to Sweden. Thanks, gents. The High Evolutionary fought Galactus in issues of the Fantastic Four in the 1970s. Still have those books, baby. That's great. That's awesome. I don't know. I was a Fantastic Four fan during the 70s. I bought they would reprint. And do you remember Giant Size? Giant Size issues, which were just like double issues, where they'd reprint old Fantastic Four stories. Yep. That's how I was able to read the first 100 issues of the Fantastic Four, was buying them in sort of giant size form.
And again,
I've held the Fantastic Four Galactus and Silver Surfer issues in my hands.
Yeah, I went through a heavy Jack Kirby phase. So I mean, anything he did, I was on board, man, because his concepts were so wacky. The High Evolutionary is just one of those characters that it's just Kirby. It's a hard character to put on screen and get right, but most Kirby characters are.
Thank you, Harry, for your comment. We appreciate that. That's awesome. Paul Fisher for 5. You've almost convinced me to see Guardians. I'm still skeptical. I'm skeptical about this, and I think it's going to be. You're right. The comment from earlier, this closure for Guardians, it's like closure on Marvel as everything. I mean, what do we have after the Marvel's Secret Wars? Like, I don't know.
Look, if you trust James Gunn, you're gonna enjoy the movie just fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a James Gunn failure by any stretch of the imagination.
At all.
Okay, all right. John Mewald says Adam Gorlock. And damn, even Eric Weber gave Guardians of the Galaxy an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, so what did you give Ant-Man?
He loved Ant-Man.
Yeah, so, I mean, Eric.
In Eric's defense, Eric is not a comic book movie guy. Okay, so for it to land with him says something. Eric freely admits, I am a normie. I am not into like if it's a good version of that type of movie, I'm fine with it. But like Eric is not like he's not like super into Marvel and knows everything and has read the comics. He hasn't read any of the comics. I mean, look at his physique. If you look at Eric Weber's Twitter feed, it's basically his takes on movies and then his audition photos for starring in gay porn, basically. Because you look at those shots he does of himself, and he looks like he's getting a prostate exam, or he's posing for the cover of a gay porn DVD sleeve. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I've said this to Eric too, by the way. It's like, why do you do those poses? You look, it's like.
And he said, because I'm trying to audition for gay porn.
That's what it looks like to me. It's just weird.
I will say when the three of us walked out of the theater, I think we were pretty much in agreement about this movie.
Okay. Yeah. Airsoft 123. Wait, Dante. So would you consider the gun version of the High Evolutionary as a good adaptation of the comics version or not?
I'm not. You can't. I mean, trying to transfer a Kirby character into the MCU, it's never going to be the Kirby character. You know what I mean?
It's like making the Eternals.
Yeah. But I will say that he was a compelling enough villain, and his story at least made sense for the backstory with Rocket, and for this story.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's be real. I don't think they've ever really captured the comic book flavor of the majority of anything coming into the MCU or the DCU.
And Paulie from Latino Slant says, for me, 1 out of 10.
He must be responding to
What's he referring to? He's got to be referring to, I don't know. But he goes on to say, 800 in the chat. Thank you. Smash the like, por favor. Thanks, Paulie.
Yeah, we're 55 on Rumble.
We have 55 on Rumble. 50.
Yeah.
50.
Hey, you want me to do
what
something?
I'm referring to? It's a guy named Beardo does it.
You want me to do some of the Rumble chats here?
Yeah, let's do some Rumble chats.
Okay, so Winter Soldier, Cosmo is a girl. Gunn missed a golden opportunity to have Cosmo hump Rocket. Let's see. Okay, BMO Better says, well, cool. I'm glad I won. Been disappointed going to see another Marvel movie. Yeah, I mean, I think it's your last chance to see something remotely good coming from Marvel. Let's see. Brother Steven, yeah, I bet Star-Lord hooks up with Nebula. Brother Steven, a 7 is generous for the MCU. Hashtag facts. Yeah, the BMO Better says the F-bomb has been spoiled by Marvel already. Yeah, I'll spoil only sense that Chris Pratt said it, and he does say it, but wait till it shows up.
Yeah.
Brother Steven, Eternals was garbage. Dread Seamus, I'll check this one out, but nothing after Infinity War is canon for me. Thanos won, everything after is garbage. Let me see. And Dread Seamus also says Endgame was horrible. BMO Better asks, should we stay for the end credits? We addressed that. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's self-contained. It's all Guardians references. Nothing referencing itself outside of the MCU. And Winter Soldier says, I want to see Adam West Batman and Michael Keaton Batman.
That would be in The Flash.
Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense. Cool. Well, shout out to everyone watching on Rumble. I appreciate you finding us. Subscribe to our channel, Film Threat on Rumble. And if you are watching and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Alan wants us to get to how many, Alan?
169,000.
169,000. That's great.
Yeah. 69. 69. 69. 69. 96. Let's go. $69.
All right. Back to your comments and questions here. Latino Slant, Polyman, Ant-Man is a 1 out of 10. Makes sense to me.
Okay.
Elliot Cecil for $4.99. Is it a spoiler to say if anyone dies, or is that obvious?
It would be a spoiler to comment on that.
Oh, so someone dies.
Okay.
You're smiling too broadly there, Dante. You're giving that's a tell. That's
well,
a tell.
Yeah, because there was a very important henchman that died. So
okay. All right.
Yeah, I think Judy Greer dies in it.
Judy Greer?
Yeah, she dies.
Like the actress? I like her, by the way.
Yeah.
She's I like her.
Pretty gruesome.
Very good comedic actress. All right. Call sign Alucard for $1.99. But does Nebula have a dad bod like on the poster?
Yes. She looks exactly like the poster.
Yeah, she looks exactly like she does on the poster.
But like what? Like, is there an explanation for that? She is a shapely.
There's no good reason why she has. It looks like they strapped her boobs down.
Yeah,
it looks like.
Yeah, let's be clear. They did not Photoshop the poster.
No.
So they've desexualized her because
they desexualized her in a big way.
Someone has to do
they got rid of her boobs. That was basically it. But
okay, that's BS because look at her character previous to this, right? Like she's sexy, she's hot.
No, they made her butch in this movie, man. Like
they made her butch, and that is on purpose. That had to be a Disney note.
Oh yeah, no, it was a choice. They made a choice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even
so no one photoshopped the poster to make her look that way. She looks that way in the movie.
So basically something did die in the movie, and that's the sexiness of Nebula is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. All I can say is this. All my enthusiasm for seeing this movie is diminished from your review. Other people in the chat are saying they're excited. They're going to go see it. I'm like, now I just am kind of just don't care.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the best way to do it. Go in with very low expectations.
It's still a good movie, but they did do that to Nebula. And and it's funny because you notice it right from the beginning. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. The poster was completely correct.
Yeah. 100% accurate.
I remember this one thing where she does sort of a turn and walks away, and she walks in like a sexy way.
Oh no, they give her baggy clothes, they strap her boobs down, they make her as non-sexy as they can.
But I don't think she walks in a masculine way at all, or a
right. Yeah, that's true. But they definitely, toned down the sexiness.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. They're doing that too much in a lot of movies these days.
Yeah.
Notice they just sort of de-emphasize certain aspects.
Unless they're trans women, then they want to emphasize sexuality because,
Dante, wait, don't because
I'm not going to get into that because I've already been in trouble with YouTube, so I'm not going to go any further. I'm just saying that's what they do.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to Dante's channel, Verbal Riot Show.
Subscribe. Yeah, it is coming back, guys. I had to take a break because me and YouTube kind of got into some complications with each other, and
did you talk about someone named Millen Delvaney?
Let's just say they struck a few of my videos because they didn't like who and what I was talking about. So I had to revamp my show a little bit. So, but it's coming back. It's coming back. Don't worry, I haven't left.
Dante, remind me after this. You got to get set up on Rumble. You can do whatever you want.
That's
I've
part
been
of his
watching
plan.
Rumble a lot more lately. There's certain YouTubers that were struck that are on Rumble.
Oh yeah. It's not just me. Other big names in YouTube have had their stuff struck because YouTube doesn't like who and what they're talking about.
Wow.
So
Well, in spite of that, please subscribe to Verbal Riot Show on YouTube. That's Dante James's channel, which is coming soon to Rumble, probably this weekend.
yeah, absolutely this weekend actually. So
Dude,
and guys, I would definitely appreciate it. It mean a lot if you sub. Trust me, nothing's going to change. I'm still going to be me. I just won't be talking about certain things or certain people
just
on
do it.
YouTube.
Just do it on Rumble.
On Rumble, no holds bar.
Awesome. Elliot Cecil for $4.99. How's the representation? Is it up to Disney standards?
Everybody's represented in this movie.
Yes.
All right. Well,
No one's. Oh well. I mean, was there anything LGBT other than Gamora, Nebula's appearance? I'm not. It's like, who cares who anyone sleeps with, and that's, that wasn't. But in terms of skin color, the spectrum of skin color, it's there.
All right. Bud Light of the Galaxy says imperfect.
Yeah.
Masculine Nebula is a deal breaker for me, says Greasy Guido. I just think it's just annoying. Like, why would you do? She was sexy in the previous Guardians movies and in other appearances of that character. So this is a conscious choice.
Oh, it was a choice. Unless there's something we don't know about, like she was pregnant or they had, and she didn't, wasn't feeling good wearing tight outfits. I don't know, but they definitely desexualized her.
Yeah. But Gamora, oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, is Gamora sexy in this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a balance.
Yeah, there's a balance.
There's a balance.
And they're in the trailer there is that allusion to maybe Quill and Nebula. There's there are hints of that, and I will not tell you how that ends, but I wouldn't call that a woke moment at all.
So Peter's into dudes or dude like girls. Why you guys? Your silence is speaking a lot.
No, I'm looking at comments here. By the way, Dread Seamus over on Rumble for $1 meant to do this last week, and he became a monthly supporter of the
that's
Film
great.
Channel on Rumble.
Thank you for that. More comments here. The Nerd Far Away question about FT on Rumble. Do you guys know yet if we still need to purchase a separate membership on Rumble?
There's no plan at the moment on Rumble.
We literally just got on Rumble.
Yeah.
Like a couple. Well, we started sending our videos there. Now we're live on Rumble the same time we are live on YouTube, and we're going to keep doing that until we figure out what to do with Rumble.
Yeah.
So
we finally got live streaming on Rumble last week, so we're nailing that down.
So we're not sure the Nerd Far Away. You don't need to purchase. I mean, if you've got one here, you're good. So we appreciate the support.
Yeah, I think the only difference is we get more money. We get a bigger piece of the pie off Rumble than we do off YouTube.
So there you go. John Manilang says everybody's represented. Everybody's represented? Question mark. What Alan and I want to know is how many Asians are in this movie. Alan,
Nico, John, you'll appreciate it. Nico Santos is in the movie. He's got a big role.
Yeah, he does.
And then there's one of the girls who's human trafficked.
Her, yeah. Well, also Mantis, obviously.
No, the Mantis is Scandinavian.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she just looks Asian. She might be half. She might be. There might be some, but she's not from Asia.
This is the problem with Dante.
I know.
All Asians look alike to him. He can't tell them apart.
I know.
Jared Manning says Adam Warlock, FKA, I think he meant AKA him, may have premiered as a Lee Kirby creation in Fantastic Four, but he's really a creation of the writers Roy Thomas and Jim Starlin. They deserve the most credit for Adam's revamp. Matthew Hammond for $4.99 says, all the cool people get strikes on YouTube. I will subscribe on Rumble if Dante will provide the spicy takes on there. Dante, you should just do Rumble stuff. You should just do stuff on Rumble.
That might be an option, man. To be honest, with
You don't need. I mean, you can do both, but there's a guy named Odin's Men who got demonetized on YouTube, and he's on Rumble, and he does. I watch him on Rumble. He's great.
Dude, they demonetized Matt Walsh, man. I mean, and he had a huge show. So I mean,
yeah,
they don't care. They just they want you to talk about specific things, and if you talk about things they don't want you to talk about, you get the strike.
Yeah,
Well,
true narrative, basically.
Let's talk about Marvel movies.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, just to correct myself, Mantis Palm Clementif, she is French and was born in Montreal, and her mother is Korean.
Oh, okay. So she's Asian.
Her mother's Korean.
Yeah, but she grew up in France and Montreal.
All right, guys. All right. Elliot Cecil for $1.99. Is the action actually brutal, as some have said?
Not more than the other two movies.
Actually, there were some pretty brutal scenes in this movie.
Yeah. But I mean, we kind of saw it. I mean, Groot really is probably the most brutal of the crew.
Yeah.
Now, okay. All right. Did you cry or get emotional?
Oh yeah, in several scenes.
So it's emotional. But you cried? You
Not cried,
No, I
but
got emotional.
But it was emotional.
Okay. All right.
When everyone died. Whoops.
Is the CGI decent or She-Hulk quality? Asks Imperfect.
No, it's decent.
It's decent.
Very decent.
Okay. Warlock should have been in Infinity War, or at least Endgame. Think Marvel missed by not including him, says C.D. Stein, 69.
I totally agree with that.
You can't have Captain Marvel and Warlock introduced in the same. It's just
Right. So they should have just had Warlock instead of Captain Marvel.
All right.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
Spidey Sensei 72 says, I'm shocked. I'm so accustomed to Dante hating everything. Lol.
That's the thing, man. I really don't. If I like something, I like it. If I don't, I'm just honest about it. That's the only thing.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad that we have to say it's worth seeing, but it's not a great movie.
I mean, hey, I like John Wick. I liked a bunch of movies that I've seen this year. Some I didn't like.
Jed McMahon says, did you enjoy it better than the Guardians Christmas special?
Oh, that's almost apples to oranges.
It's very different. Very.
I mean, it's so scaled down. It's so scaled down. The holiday special. It's just hard to compare it with this.
Yep. Laura Buckles says Captain Marvel doesn't show up. I'm in. Patrick Lemire says no Kang supports my theory. They are thinking of pulling the plug on phase 5, 6, and rebooting. Do you get that sense? Because this movie seems like it's not advancing the Marvel story.
No,
Guardians,
it's its own little bubble.
Yep.
It's its own thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point. Is it doesn't
and
advance?
let's be real. It's coming out next week. What could they have done to address the Jonathan Majors situation in this movie?
Well, there could have been a post-credit scene and they cut it. I mean,
possibly. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. Heinlein, how was the music?
Oh, always good. Always good. It was cool.
It didn't blow me away this time. I felt like he's going for deep tracks with this one.
But that's what I liked about it, man. You had like Radiohead and a bunch of other cool shit in there. So,
but it ends with Springsteen though.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah. I was not excited about the soundtrack.
Okay, so it doesn't stand out because the first Guardians is great. The first Guardians is I feel like it's like a classic in terms of it's top tier Marvel.
I say of the three movies, this one probably didn't have the best out of the three. I'd say it goes 1, 2, 3 as far as playlist goes. But I thought the music choices were pretty sound for this movie.
And I will say, when the Guardians were on Earth during Endgame, Peter was able to upload more songs, and so it spans through the 2000s.
Yeah.
Cool. Spartan 089 for 10 just finished Attack of the Dock and had a smile on my face the whole time. It really took me back to the better days of entertainment. Thanks, Chris, for making that making that for us legacy nerds. Oh, well, you're welcome. That's why I made it. I wanted to remind people of this era that existed. So, and Patrick Lemire says, and so thank you for that and the support of the channel. I doubt it was as emotional as Attack of the Dock. Yeah, I think so. I think Attack of the Dock is more emotional than Guardians 3.
Yeah, you're right.
You know why though? Because it reminded people of a good time, of when things were like fun, you know? And we don't have that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like what Marvel's been putting out is diminishing this movie, and it's kind of sad.
Jamie G. Voltaic Blood, who's a member, thank you for that. You guys are doing a good job not to spoil despite Chris's attempts. Yeah. So I don't know where. Okay, last question on this, and we're gonna move on. I didn't realize how late.
Oh, wow.
Less than half an hour on the show, and I got to get ready for FNT. Where does this fit? How do you feel now about the future of the MCU? Is this kind of a closing of a chapter? How does it where does it, I mean, this ranks, it sounds like this is sort of, it's not as good as 1. It may or may not be as good as 2. It's still a good experience because we care about these characters, but where does this, how are you feeling about the future of the MCU now based on having seen this film? And even though even the as you guys pointed out, the post-credit scenes are all within the, Guardians universe. Where does this put us? And what is your speculation?
I'll jump on this. I think honestly, for me, I agree with a lot of the comments here where I think this could be a good ending period for the MCU. Like, honestly, I don't think I need to see another MCU film after this. It closes off point, basically. It closes the chapter for me. I'm not feeling good about anything else coming up. And I don't think I'm gonna feel good about anything else coming up for a long time. Wow. So for me, this is kind of an ending chapter for me as well. I think, you know what? Go out on top. This is as top as they're going to get. Trust me. This is as top as they're going to get. So I'm probably bowing out of the MCU after Guardians.
All right.
I mean, Chris, you and I are contractually obligated to watch these movies. It's again, I'll say it again. This is gonna be the last good Marvel you're gonna see for a very long time.
Okay.
So as Picard season 3 was the last good Star Trek you're gonna see for a very long time. And it's just kind of sad. I'm looking at what's coming up: Marvel's Captain America, New World Order, Thunderbolts, and Blade. And nothing in those titles excites me at all. Not something I'm really looking for.
Thunderbolts, come on, Thunderbolts.
That's true, Thunderbolts.
It's a team.
God, that's tragic, man.
We've never seen. Look, it's going to be low tier Suicide Squad.
Like the lowest tier. It's not even the Thunderbolts. Let's call it what it is, man.
I mean, what you got? Yelena, you got Red Ghost.
It's MCU Rejects. That's what the movie is called.
What?
It's MCU Rejects. That's what it should be called.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, wasn't that the Thunderbolts in the first place?
No. The Thunderbolts
were like villains, wasn't it? It was the lower tier Avengers, basically.
No, they were villains that were pretending to be heroes and had like this image in the media as heroes, but they were really villains. It wasn't the Suicide Squad. The way it became the Suicide Squad later.
Oh, okay.
But the Thunderbolts didn't start out that way, man.
Cool. Yeah, they'll screw it up. They'll screw it up.
Vorpal Snack says, I find myself always agreeing with Dante. And then Lord Thaw says, verbal riot. And then posted the link to.
Thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate it.
Verbal Riot Show. Subscribe to that. Coming soon to Rumble.
Coming soon. Very soon.
Systemic 776 for 20. I absolutely loved Attack of the Dock. I was surprised how much it hit me in the feels. Thank you for the great memories of a show and network that found me in a time when I really needed to feel like I belonged. Well, thank you for that, Systemic 776. Wait until you see the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray for Attack of the Dock. We're going to have it. Dante, when we and we all go to San Diego Comic-Con, I pitched a panel.
Nice.
I pitched a panel to Comic-Con. So Hopefully they'll accept our panel.
I hope, man. I hope we haven't become the bad boys of the con circuit now.
Kimberly Moore says, read some comics for the love of God. Yeah, for sure.
Look, I've been off and on for the last few years. I think I read an issue of Thunderbolts, and you know, the state of comic books is. We talked about this, Dante, yesterday, but
yeah,
you know why? What's happened to Marvel? What's happened to DC?
MK Solid 82 for $4.99. I just know that they will insert angry activism in the new Blade movie. Also, what will they do with the Black Knight without inserting more feminism?
I guarantee you, in the new Blade movie, all the vampires are going to be white. They're all going to be white, and he's going to be killing white vampires the whole time.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. There you go.
It's going to be the wokest vampire hunter movie you've ever seen.
I don't know. Do you think, because Mahershala Ali isn't particularly, if you've seen him in interviews, he's pretty middle of the road.
He doesn't bring things up.
But we're talking about Disney here.
Yeah, that's true.
The mouse always gets its way.
It just seems like everything goes corporate. If Disney does stuff, it can kind of hold off for a little bit, but eventually the corporate culture and the nature of Disney as a company, it's like it absorbs every IP and just turns it into like a corporate soulless shell of itself, like Peter Pan and Wendy that Alan and I talked about on Wednesday. Peter Pan and Wednesday is just horrible. The worst part of it is it's just completely forgettable. I mean, most of the woke stuff that's in Peter Pan and Wendy is actually in the trailer, but the movie itself, having seen it, is just instantly forgettable. They're not making any modern classics at all. These are all things where people will have to be reminded that
It is all about his daughter.
It says Vorpal snack. Who knows? Okay. Who knows if it is? All right. Well, we're gonna Dante. We're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna talk about a different movie, but
I gotta run. So I
gotta run. Yeah. Thank you for being on the show today, Dante. I will see you next week. I'll see you next week when I'm back.
Guys, again, if you haven't subbed to my channel, I'd appreciate it. It's Verbal Riot Show. Easy to find on YouTube, and soon to be on Rumble very soon as well.
Cool. All right. Take care, Dante. Yeah. See you later, man. Cool. All right. Okay. Let's you know what we got to do? We're gonna have to pivot. I think we're gonna have to pivot. Oh, wait, we got a super chat coming here. So let me get that real quick. Gabriel Quiroga, could X-Men and Fantastic Four save Marvel at this point? I think what they should have done is a hard reboot. Go away for a couple years after Endgame, and then what you do is you come back with period films set in the sort of Camelot 1960s era, X-Men and Fantastic Four. There's your universe. Yeah. And just to me, as period films.
To me, both X-Men and Fantastic Four, it'll be all about who they cast as opposed to the subtext of the stories they're going to tell.
Well, the rumor I hear recently is Adam Driver
as Reed Richards.
Reed Richards, and I think it's pretty good casting, actually.
Yes.
I think that could be good.
And they mentioned, I forgot. They mentioned something about Sue Storm, and I can't remember who it was. But it was not a BIPOC name that came across.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Mm.
What do you think, Alan?
I think Miles Teller would make a great Dr. Doom.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Let's pivot for a moment while we're gonna pivot. And thank you, everyone. There's over 700 people, nearly 800 people watching. Thank you for watching our show. We appreciate it. Hail to the chat. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to talk about a different film here. Talk about a movie that I saw recently that's on Apple TV Plus. It stars Ana de Armas and Chris Evans. It is called Ghosted. And here is the review of Ghosted. It feels like a movie that was written 20 years ago that finally recently got made. Chris Evans is a total wimp in this film. You meet him at a swap meet. He's talking about his troubles when it comes to romance and dating and women. He's not particularly good at it. And he meets a girl played by Anna de Armas, and they have chemistry. They have chemistry. You see a spark, and they have this entire conversation about a plant and how you need to love a plant. You need a type of plant that this plant, you should water it at least every 2 days. But because she's out and about and can't water that plant for 2 days and can't give it love, he won't sell her the plant. Finally, she just wants a cactus because you barely need to care or pay attention to it. And they're not talking about plants. They're talking about relationships in this conversation, which opens the film. They then go on a date that lasts like into the afternoon, late afternoon, wee hours of the evening. They wake up together, one night stand. Of course, Chris Evans is texting her. She's not responding to the texts. And because this is so dumb, he has an inhaler and he has a thing that he can tag on it. He finds out that his inhaler is in London because he left it in her purse or something. He left his inhaler in her purse. So now he's tracking her. And he goes to London on a romantic whim after she's ignored him for weeks with all this block of text. He's like, well, I'm going to go find her. So he goes there. This is all in the trailer, by the way. She finds out that she's a secret agent. She's a badass. And Chris Evans is he's like Woody Allen or something, which is a play off the fact that, this guy is, he used to play Captain America and now he's a wimp. Haha. There's a couple good action scenes in this movie in spite of the fact that it's a bad romantic comedy. And there is one scene in the middle of the movie with a succession of cameos that is hilarious. Just watch that scene. So you've got cameos. Fine, I'm going to spoil it. Sam Wilson, you've got the actor that plays Sam Wilson is there. Sebastian Stan is there. And they have like this sort of one-upping each other of secret agents, but it's all people that Chris Evans has acted with in other movies. That scene was fun. Aside from that, it is an insufferable romantic comedy that seems dated, but the modernity aspect of it is the fact that Chris Evans is a complete wimp. I did not like this film. I cannot recommend it. I can recommend track down that scene of the cameos. If you could just see that, that's actually really funny, but it's, that's 3 minutes of the movie and that's it. Not a fan, didn't like it. And it's weird because I almost feel bad for Chris Evans. I feel like he was so good as Captain America. That's all he can play. He's really good as Captain America, and almost anything else he can't. He's too sort of that role is in his DNA now. You can't see him as anything other than that. So it's basically, this is a wimpy Captain America. It's a wimpy Steve Rogers. So didn't like Ghosted, can't recommend it. I recommend tracking down and watching that scene of cameos. Other than that, this is a hard pass for me. A 2 out of 10, maybe a 3 out of 10 at best, because the action scenes I thought were clever, but they're played comedically. So it doesn't feel like there's any stakes. So there you go. 2 or 3 out of 10 on Ghosted. Alan?
I'm surprised you chose to watch this movie.
I'm surprised I chose to watch it. It was like,
why of all the movies we need to see, why did you see Ghosted?
Yes, well, I did. I saw Ghosted. So there you go.
Why? We have so many movies that need to be reviewed, and you saw Ghosted.
Oh, well, there you go. All right. Some quick comments here, and then I have a special treat before the end of the show that I cannot wait to show you. It's a treat, and it relates to Star Trek and Picard Season 3. Do not leave the stream. Someone sent me a video. I'm not going to say who. There is an unlisted video on YouTube, and I want to show it to you. Just don't go away. Quick comments here. We're gonna wrap up by showing something. I am dying to show this all to you. So comments here. Nick Martin for 5. Do y'all think Return of the Jedi will win the box office this weekend? I mean, it'll rank. It'll definitely rank for sure. I'm planning to see it.
It's up against Sisu.
Go see Sisu and Return of the Jedi. Matthew Hammond for 2. Will Disney's Blade push KK Vamps? Ku Klux Vamps? Alan?
Will it? I
don't know.
have no way to respond to that.
Jake D for 15 something. No way. It's Chris and Pre-Coffee Gore and Alan. My daughter hated it. Ing. Can't believe I caught you guys live. Love your show. Thank you, Jake D. Thank you and appreciate you.
Yes, my daughter was not overly impressed with.
Wait, you're kidding? What'd your daughter think of Guardians 3?
She not impressed. She had fun, and she said she's not going to see it again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She wants to see John Wick 4 again.
She wants to see John Wick 4 again over that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Wow.
that's of the two. Yeah, go see John Wick 4 again.
Wow. All right, cool. Quick comments here, and then we're going to wrap up the show by I have a special treat for you. Do not leave. And if you're listening to this, make sure that you can watch the screen. You got to see this. More comments. Nicholas Vargo. I don't know if you guys are reviewing it, but I just saw Polite Society. Oh, I really want to see that. Polite Society last night.
I've seen it. I saw it at Sundance.
Well, why aren't we got to review it?
Yeah.
Between this, Sisu, and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. This is a great week to be a movie fan. Those are just very, it's like going to the buffet and there's all these vastly different foods that don't go together, but it's a great smorgasbord, to speak.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a little more positive about saying Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
We may have to add another stream, or we may have to, just because we're going to be doing Critics Court on Wednesdays, we may have to add an additional live stream weekly, or take our Friday live stream and make it 3 hours. Which would you prefer? I'm asking the chat. Okay. Should we do another show like on Mondays, or should we just do a longer show on Fridays so we can review everything? Because I'm worried that once we start doing the court show, we're not going to have time to review a bunch of movies. Chat, should we set up a poll? Like,
I mean, the one upside about doing it on Monday is we can respond to the news that happens over the weekend.
Should we start a Monday show, a Monday live stream, kind of casual in the afternoon?
Yeah. Possibly.
What do people think? Monday show or longer Friday show? Let us know. Cool. And a few more comments here. Alan Horkin, my name is Chato. Warned viewers to avoid Ghosted entirely. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why you watched this movie.
Jericho Leon, Chris Evans, and Ana de Armas being together in the same movie just reminds me of Knives Out, where Evans is a total jerk. He was good in that. I liked him.
Oh, and not another teen movie. He was great.
Right. Falcon and Winter Soldier killed the MCU for me. Alan's daughter needs her own column, says Patrick Lemire.
She was on fire during the live stream.
Roberto says, "Cause Anna." Robert Paul Champagne, I'm shocked. And sounds like Chris took another one for the team. Thanks, Chris, is the nerd far away. I was just like, well, I mean, this is like a big movie, or would be. So, I wanted to talk about it. All right, now a special treat. A very special treat. We're going to pivot. We're going to pivot to discuss something that is of interest to me. I need to share screen here, and I'm going to show you a video. It is 2 minutes. It is an unlisted video on YouTube. I don't know how this person found it, but they sent it to me, and I want to show it to you, and I want you to think about something. I want you to think about possibilities as we watch this video. So this
What?
oh no,
What happened?
the dumb ad started playing.
Oh,
It's awful. Okay, that what you just saw is titled Regeneration. It's obviously what you saw was the planet, and this is basically from Star Trek Generations, where Captain James T. Kirk died. You see Spock visiting the place where Kirk died. And is it possible that William Shatner could make a return as Captain James T. Kirk? You see William Shatner, you saw the documentary, you've seen interviews with him. He's in his 90s. What Terry Matalas recently did with Star Trek Picard Season 3 was an achievement. Could there be one last ride for Captain James T. Kirk? A fitting ending, a better ending for James T. Kirk than the one we got in the movies and the one that we're seeing play out in modern Star Trek. Could James T. Kirk return? Now, the Regeneration, this video that was sent to me, it doesn't even have like 1,000 views. It's obviously made by a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done. I don't know anything about the story of it. I intend to find out. But what do you think about the return of James T. Kirk? Could Paramount bring back William Shatner for maybe 6 or 8 episodes of a show? Could they tell a much better ending to the character of Captain James Tiberius Kirk? Alan, based on seeing that video, what are your thoughts?
well, could they? Yes. Will they? I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Right.
I mean, as good as Shatner looks and good as he talks, he speaks better than Patrick Stewart, quite frankly. I don't know how he moves. He is over 90. So can you theoretically do a full-on series like Picard with Kirk? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Wishful thinking. I watch that and I go, boy, I would love to see it. I don't know that we will see it. Again, with the ending of Picard season 3, that was a great ending, a great setup for the future. But will we see it? I don't know. I seriously doubt it.
Yeah.
But, never say never.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link. In to this. The number people are asking, it's 765874. Okay. So I'm gonna put the link. I'll put it in the chat. We'll put it in the description of this episode so people can check it out.
Yeah.
Check out this video.
By the way, Dread Seamus says Shatner wrote a series of books where the Borg resurrected him.
Yeah, so this could be a story of resurrecting Captain James T. Kirk for one final adventure. And the way that Picard ends, such a great ending for all the characters on Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I feel the ending of Kirk was lame. It was even a lame handoff to the crew of The Next Generation, which yeah.
But better than Han Solo?
What's that?
Better than the demise of Han Solo?
Forget it. Star Wars. That Regeneration video just energized me, says Immortal Remus, for 199 pounds. And what was that number? The number was, I want to get it. Shit. Sorry. I have too many tabs open. Folks. I think I read the number. It's in the. I'll put the link in the video in the description.
You were in the Vic Mignogna Star Trek.
Yeah. Star Trek Continues. Yeah.
I feel like that's how Star Trek continues.
Yeah. Gabriel Quiroga, Captain America getting ghosted. We are doomed, boys. We are doomed. But well, look, I only ask. You know what? All I can say is this: there are always possibilities. But that's going to wrap it up for us today. I got to get to FNT. I got to get to FNT later this afternoon. I think 1 p.m. Pacific time is when the show starts. I'll be going to the movies this weekend. I'll be back in Los Angeles. Probably I'll be at the Burbank AMC 16 seeing some movies. I am going to get my voice back. I've had 2 cups of coffee during the show, and I'm feeling energized. I'm ready to go. My voice is not quite there yet, but I'm just going to keep drinking.
It's not going to get better, by the way.
It's not going to get better.
Not
going to get better. But I want to thank you all. I want to thank Ms. Pico Coffee and all of our mods in the chat. Thank you so much for helping make this show great. I want to thank you for watching and all of your comments. Reminder to check out Attack of the Doc. Go to attackofthedoc.com. And as a favor to me, go to rottentomatoes.com, look up Film Threat, or look up Attack of the Doc, and post your audience review of Attack of the Doc. I will also put the link in the description. Just go to rottentomatoes.com, look up Attack of the Doc, and please, if you've seen the movie, post your review. I hope you give it a positive review because I would like to get an audience score. You need 50 reviews to get an audience score, 50 audience reviews. You only need 5 to get a Rotten Score rating. So I would love to I'd love to get that audience score rating for Attack of the Doc. We will be back next week, 1 p.m. Pacific time, for the first episode of Critics Court, Star Wars on Trial. We are going to introduce the charges. It's going to be a very fun show and a very different show. And Alan and I will consider creating either a Monday show, so we'll get movies and news that we missed, or we'll just make our Friday show longer, like 3 hours instead of 2 hours. What do you want in the chat? Tell us what you want. What does your dog want, Alan? I just heard your dog.
He wants more snacks, and I'm out.
Okay. Tell us what you like. Monday show, longer Friday show. Should we do it? We'll do a poll.
But now, or you want to do it?
No, we'll do it later in the community tab. In the community tab, you can create a poll.
Okay, yes.
We'll do that. That's the best way to do it. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Alan, what do you got coming up?
Let's see. Still got more reviews coming up on filmthreat.com. And I will probably try to see Are You There, God, Ms. Margaret, whatever. And I'm trying to see let's see, for the Queen's movie, the Ray Romano movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you are then. Okay, that wraps it up for us. I will be on Friday Night Tights in a mere few hours. I am still in Vegas. I'm coming back on Saturday. Coming back on Saturday to just calmly watch some movies, and I'm going to be dry for a while. I'll just be drinking water. Thanks again, everybody, and just shout out to the whole FNT team. Gary from Nerdrotic. Thank you, Patrick Lemire. Thanks for the positive energy FT gives us. I want to thank Gary from Nerdrotic and Mrs. Nerdrotic for just being amazing hosts, and everyone here, all the fans that I met. I posted a photo of me with an actual physical fan on my Twitter, which I don't take very seriously. Just want to thank everyone's been so gracious and sweet, and it's just great to connect with people who watch you online. So I'm sure we'll be hanging out more tonight. Last night we went on Fremont Street. It was a little crazy. It was a little crazy on Fremont Street. I remember most of it. But just thank you to everyone that I've met. You're just such an amazing audience and so supportive, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you again. And I'll still be in Vegas at least for another night. Alan, take us out.
Let's get out of here.